And we think that opportunity is huge. We think that's going to be great for Ripple. We think it's going to be great for XRP, which is a digital asset we use.
And who knows, you could hang a financial portal on that as well, or you could be directing people to the way in which to access finance. So
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up your seatbelts because in today's video breakdown, I am going to absolutely blow your mind. This is the type of information, the deep related research that the mainstream is never going to share with you all. We're going to be jumping into some fundamentals. I'm going to be playing some video clips for you guys, showing you all that Ripple, XRP, the RLUSD, and the XRPL are about to be presented to a global audience in the future moving forward. And it is only going to continue to drive mass adoption of these digital assets and this integration of this new financial system to displaced people all over the globe. So again, buckle up for today's video breakdown. We're going to jump in. We're going to be listening to, and we're going to set the tone here. We're going to be listening to an individual from a very, very large organization. And I want to get into the organization and show you guys who the board members are so you can see how insane this is via the research that we're going to share with you guys. So we're going to be listening primarily to David Miliband, and we're also going to be listening to some Ripple executives like Marcus Infinger and some others, showing you guys how massive Ripple and XRP and the RLUSD and the XRPL are all about to become, okay, over the next consecutive couple of years. This is no bullish moon boy hype. This is showing you guys the research that is never going to reach the mainstream. So who is this individual? He is the president and CEO of this organization called the International Rescue Committee. Now, if we head over here to their website, if you're not too familiar with them, you're familiar with Red Cross, right? You're familiar with all these other like the UN, kind of like global rescue organizations. This is one that goes readily unnoticed. So check this out. On their website, it'll tell you who they are. And it says, in 1933, Albert Einstein, interesting, and a small group of humanitarians formed what would become the International Rescue Committee. Today, they deliver lasting impact by providing healthcare, helping children learn, and empowering individuals and communities to become self-reliant, always with the focus on the unique needs of women and girls. Our work spans more than 40 crisis-affected countries. That's massive. They have a global span, and they provide resettlement, asylum, and integration services in communities across the United States and in Europe, okay? Just to give you guys a scope of the organization in which we're operating and dealing with here. Now, what's going to be even crazy is not only did they just partner with Ripple in October of this year, but just to prove to you guys that these large financial institutions, they know, look at this. So IRC, board of directors and board of advisors, and I'm just going to pay attention to the big names that you most likely know, but you could probably dive deeper into this list and find some pretty big correlations here. So here you can see one of their board of advisors for this organization is the senior vice president of Bank of America. Interesting. Let's continue down the list. We have chair emeritus. Hopefully, I don't know what that means, but Morgan Stanley. Okay, you see that right there. So we got Morgan Stanley. We got another representative, the chairman of investment banking division at Goldman Sachs. Interesting, sitting on their chair of advisors. If we continue to scroll down, let's see what else we got. We got the president of the Rockefeller Foundation. Okay, please, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot make this stuff up. Again, these are the connections that the mainstream is never going to share with you guys. So do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. I'm trying to show you guys how deep the rabbit hole goes and how big Ripple is going to be. So on October 16th, 2024, on the Ripple website, they posted this fundamental piece. And then we're going to get into a video clip after I read these two pieces. Ripple, a leading provider of digital asset infrastructure, today announced partnership with the International Rescue Committee. Now, keep in mind, Brad Garlinghouse mentioned that they are an infrastructure provider.
Custody solutions around blockchain and crypto. We're going to keep expanding, even though the U.S. market, as we were talking about earlier, partly from a regulatory point of view, has been slow to adopt. the non-U.S. market has been really, really strong for us. And
you're going to be the infrastructure around all of that.
That is our goal. And we think that opportunity is huge. We think that's going to be great for Ripple. We think it's going to be great for XRP, which is a digital asset we use.
One of the world's most trusted humanitarian organizations helping people affected by crises to survive. Ripple's established leadership in compliant blockchain payments, combined with the IRC's expertise in delivering impactful humanitarian aid across 40-plus countries, including over $70 million in cash voucher relief, creates a powerful partnership with the potential to transform aid delivery at scale. I like that right there. Aid delivery at scale. Okay. Now, another fundamental piece plays a deeper important role because it talks about RLUSD and how they plan to utilize it. Okay, so Ripple, the provider of the digital asset infrastructure, obviously, of course, recently announced this partnership. This is from this year, and it says here in purple. We're going to come back to this, so I have it highlighted in purple. Ripple and the IRC will now aim to explore how Ripple's cross-border payment solution and pending RLUSD stablecoin may be leveraged in seamless delivery of humanitarian aid. Now, why is this so important? Keep in mind what Marcus Infinger said about RLUSD working alongside XRP, how they plan to utilize RLUSD to scale XRP, and how this lady talks about their global presence. Take a second here and listen.
Traditional finance and crypto. And so that's why we're super excited to take that on. It's been also one of the most cited feedback in terms of what developers want that build on the XRP ledger. Again, there's more than 1,000 projects building, and the need for a stablecoin to really act as a portal from bringing more financial activity on chain is super critical.
Okay, so currently the most stablecoin usage I think is in like developing countries. We have like Latin America and Africa, just because to counteract the local currency and inflation rates, right? So what's specific to your stablecoin that can be applicable to global audiences?
Yeah, so I would say two use case categories that we're most excited about. First of all, we plan to leverage the Ripple stablecoin alongside XRP in cross-border payments in our existing real-world cross-border payment product.
Boom. So they plan to scale the RLUSD, right, alongside XRP in cross-border payments. That is a massive statement right there. Again, considering this partnership, right? And I just showed you guys in this fundamental piece, IRC will now aim to explore Ripple's cross-border payment solution and pending RLUSD stablecoin may be leveraged in seamless delivery of humanitarian aid. And I just showed you guys who the board of advisors is for this organization. Like, this is not some random joke. This is not some, oh, okay, just a coincidence. No, largest organization sitting on their board of advisor. Okay, come on now, people. Now let's tap in. Let's play some video clips and let's listen. So this is a fireside chat from 1 month ago on Ripple and their YouTube page at Ripple Swell. This only has 458 views. Okay, take a second and let's listen to them first, talk about their partnership, and then they go on to talk about how they plan to scale this organization. IRC plans to scale and reach millions of people globally in the near future through these new digital innovations, right? And the gentleman whom I mentioned to you guys, David Milband, talk about how they could build payment rails, how they could build financial rails with these technologies. Okay, take a second. I'm telling you guys, this is going to blow your mind. And keep in mind, while we're going through this information, I shared this to you guys. Okay, why is it so important that I'm showing you all this? And I started this out by saying I'm trying to show you all that Ripple, RLUSD, XRPL, and XRP are about to have a global freaking audience. Because right now, according to a AAA report in 2024, there are 562 million active crypto owners worldwide, 6.8% of the population, ladies and gentlemen. We are so early. Do not let anybody manipulate you into believing that we are not. Here's the report, by the way, right here, May 24th, 2024. Okay. So when I'm about to play this information for you guys, understand when I'm saying RLUSD and XRP and the XRPL are about to have a global audience with real utility and real use case. We have not experienced that yet. Okay. Take a second here and listen.
Because the needs are growing, rather than stepping back and saying, well, hang on, how are we going to meet these needs in different ways?
No, and I think that's what's so exciting. I mean, we announced this morning, some of you may have heard, a partnership that we've entered into with IRC, Ripple and IRC, where we're going to be exploring how we can use some of the technology that Ripple provides, both our payment solutions and the soon-to-be released RLUSD, the US dollar-based stablecoin, and learning really from each other.
So they just openly admitted that they're going to be exploring RLUSD, and you heard what Marcus Sinfinger said, right?
Yeah, so I would say two use case categories that we're most excited about. First of all, we plan to leverage the Ripple stablecoin alongside XRP in cross-border payments in our existing real-world cross-border payment product.
Now, take a second and listen to the gentleman, David, speak on reaching millions of people, right? And how they could build financial rails on these new technologies.
From my perspective, we've got to be open-minded about this. Our research and innovation starts from the principle we've got to fast test, fast fail. We're proud of that. We're not scared of that. We've got to embrace the ideas of transparency, security. Those are good words for us that are helpful. Safety. Those have got potential for us. That's why we want to work with you. That's why we're, in a way, appealing to this audience to say, if you want to make an impact for people who are excluded in all sorts of ways from the blessings of the global market economy, reach out to us. Because we're very much in the mode of opening minds to the way in which the humanitarian sector does its work. Because if we simply try and pedal faster on our old bicycle, we're not going to work.
Right.
We've got to find different ways of working. For example, we've now got a global architecture for information provision for displaced people. We help about 3.5 to 4 million people a year through our signpost program. At the moment, and it's got 31 local instances, it's in 25 languages. We want to make it in 125 languages. We want to reach not 3.5, 4 million people. We want to reach 40 million people, 70 million people. We think that's possible. And who knows, you could hang a financial portal on that as well. Or you could be directing people to the way in which to access finance.
We could build financial portals, he said.
Who knows, you could hang a financial portal on that as well, or you could be directing people to the way in which to access finance.
Or we could be directing people towards these financial rails. Do you understand how massive this is? They just said they're helping 4 million people. They plan on helping 40 million people. I just showed you guys that they're partnering with Ripple to plan on scaling RLUSD. Again, what did Marcus Sinfinger say? XRP is going to play a role in all of this to some degree. To think that it's not is absolutely delusionary, okay? It is 110%. And when you understand that, you understand, again, how early we are. I just showed you guys how early we are. 562 million active people, even bringing another 40 million people into this ecosystem. And they're utilizing RLUSD, which, again, coexists with XRP to scale, is astronomical what's going to happen over the next consecutive couple of years. I'm not here to tell you guys this is going to happen tomorrow. You're not going to see a $100 price tag on XRP tomorrow. But over the coming years, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see inside this type of research and see what's happening behind the scenes. Again, CNBC is never going to talk about this. Fox News is never going to talk about this or show you guys these videos. All right? So now let's go back to this gentleman here and listen to him talk about longevity and enhancing payments. And then I want to take you back to a previous event, a panel discussion from the World Knowledge Forum, where they went on to present XRP as a solution for cross-border payments to some of the largest market participants in the game. And I made a previous video breakdown on that. All right. So take a second here and listen to what he says.
But I picked two things out about the partnership that's important. First of all, it's multi-year.
Yes.
And that's important for us because our industry is incredibly short-term and we need to make it more medium to longer term. I think that's really, really important. Secondly, we hope to inspire your employees and your partners by what we're doing. We think there's big scope for employees to say, well, at the end of the tax year, I want to be part of this movement as well because I care about people other than myself. And I think that's a really important part of this too.
I agree. I mean, the fact that it's multi-year, really speaks to this being a journey. And I think, well, what we do in our normal course of business at Ripple in terms of helping facilitate more efficient cross-border payments as an aspect of that, we're addressing pain points being it takes too long or it's a little more costly. I mean, what we're talking about here can be the matter of life and death, getting that assistance to the right place, to the appropriate people. And so, I think investing the time and effort to get it right is hugely important.
If you guys hear what they're saying long-term vision, helping these individuals out. And this is why this partnership is so crucial. And again, how Ripple and their solutions can help facilitate faster, cheaper cross-border payments and getting these transactions to people. It's a life or death situation and it matters, right? Do you guys remember, again, from the World Knowledge Forum? It's so crazy that people aren't tapped into this. This gentleman right here goes on to present that cross-border payments are still clunky. They're outdated. They take forever. There's a whole bunch of different intermediaries.
Okay. Now I want to come back to cross-border payments as I described in the outline. So first of all, why cross payments so difficult in the traditional system? So say we want to send some money from Boise, Idaho to, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Buchan, right? So we want to send money from there to there. How is that going to work in traditional payment systems? Well, first, the payer has to send to its bank, has to put the money into its bank. Secondly, the money has to move to an international correspondent bank. I'll explain what I mean by correspondent bank in just 1 minute. When the money is at the correspondent bank, then it will engage an FX trader, a foreign exchange trader, to sell US dollars and buy Korean won. Okay, and I had that done in Incheon, where we are now. And then that money is deposited into the US correspondent's bank account at the Korean correspondent bank account. So that's why they're called correspondent banks, because each has an account at the other. So in other words, remember, you can only trade US dollars in the US system, and you can only trade won in the Korean system. So the US bank has a won account at its international correspondent in Korea. So once again, this money comes here, there's an FX trade, the won is deposited in that bank, in this bank's account, in the correspondent bank. From there, it goes to the payee's bank, and then finally, the money gets to the payee. So you should be thinking, what should be thinking to yourselves? That's a lot of steps. And in the financial system, every step, somebody gets paid, right? No one's doing any of this. There's not volunteer work, right? Everyone's getting paid all along the way. So this can get quite expensive.
Okay. In this whole entire presentation that he's doing here. And then this is, again, look at this. Look at the date. World Knowledge Forum. This is from 2024. This is not outdated. This was posted only 3 weeks ago. And at this World Knowledge Forum presentation that this gentleman here did, okay, if you come over here to about 30 minutes and 51 seconds, what were they talking about being a solution to these cross-border payments? XRP. Take a second here and listen. This is just crazy and it's monumental and goes to show that Ripple's XRP is going to play a role in facilitating global cross-border payments at scale and at speed. Take a second here and listen.
But it has been used here in Ripple and JPM Coin. So just, I'm sure this audience, if you've come here, I'm sure you know what blockchain is. But for this talk, we'll just say it's a ledger. It keeps track of who owns a certain token. And you could just transfer ownership very quickly of a token from one person to another on the blockchain. And that happens instantaneously. Okay, so that's all I'll say for blockchain now. So I'm going to give two examples. One is Ripple and one is JPM Coin. So I'll talk about the differences in a minute. But the way it works is incredibly simple, right? It's that if you're US dollars, and again, I want to send money from the US to Korea. So all I do is I sell my US dollars and I buy a token. I'm going to talk about the two different kinds of tokens in a minute. But I sell my US dollar and I buy a token on a blockchain. And then all you do is you switch on the blockchain, you switch the ownership to the person that's supposed to get it. And that person sells the token for won. Okay? So that's, whoa. That sounds like, whoa, that's so fast compared to when I showed you all those arrows before. Okay. So let me just talk, though. It's not quite as easy as it sounds. Let me just describe why. So Ripple is one company that's been doing this since 2012. Its token is called XRP. So Bitcoin is one thing that trades on a blockchain. You can have other things trading on blockchain, the tokens, and that's XRP. And this is public permissionless. So
you get the picture. So they're talking about facilitating faster, cheaper cross-border payments at a World Knowledge Forum in 2024. And they describe XRP as an example when there's literally thousands of digital assets that they could have chosen as an example. They chose to present XRP. And if you look at the audience in my previous video breakdown of who attended this World Knowledge Forum, you will also see that it was presented in front of large market participants. This is not some game, people. This is not some hopium, get rich quick. As you all heard, the gentleman from the IRC mentioned this long-term partnership is extremely important, and it is going to be beneficial long-term. Understand how early we are, understand what's happening behind the scenes. Generational wealth is yet to be made. And we are only at the forefront of this technological evolution, right? So I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, sticking to our basics, deep research, really just trying to pick apart the markets for you guys and show you all the information that not a lot of people are paying attention to. All the people that talk crap about XRP are never going to do this type of deep research and show you guys the ins and outs and the partnerships and the interconnected webs. So do me a favor, because these videos do take time to make, and so does the research. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. We do appreciate the love and the support. That's the least you guys could do to help boost this platform, boost the algorithm, and send out this video to more like-minded individuals like yourselves. As always, none of this is financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and buy the digital asset XRP. I'm just here in an attempt to show you guys that this transformation is 110% happening. XRP, RLUSD, XRPL, and Ripple have their hand in it. So pay attention to detail. Many blessings to you guys, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.